They are already cooking up a legal mess to enshrine animal rights. In fact, the fact that animals are transformed into subjects of legal protection as the most fragile human beings become unprotected expresses very well the eclipse of conscience of our time. Can an animal become a holder of rights that cannot be subject to obligations at any stage of its life? Every right requires a correlative obligation. Of course, this does not mean that animals should be excluded from the scope of legal protection. Human beings are entitled to a fair dominion over animals, which implies the obligation to care for and protect them. But when we talk about animal rights, we change the meaning of this legal relationship. As Chesterton teaches us, behind the idea of treating animals as if they were human beings, there is a secret desire to treat human beings as if they were animals. The pretext of elevating the inferior always covers the impulse to demote the superior. Finally, we discover in all attempts to make animals the holders of rights the purpose of suppressing the specific spiritual reality of man. Scholars of sexual perversions define fetishism as a kind of erotic circumlocution to which those who are incapable of loving a person resort to. The consecration of animal rights is the moral fetishism of a sick era that relegates the defense of human life to a peripheral and subordinate place. The champions of animal rights are the same ones who extol abortion, experiments with embryonic cells, euthanasia, the delusions of the transgender movement. The same time that puts pets on an altar assumes that human life is no longer inviolable, that not all human beings are worthy of protection, not at all stages of their lives. The two aberrations have the same origin. In the end, comparing a man to a pet is an ambiguous way of abolishing him, of denying his uniqueness, of considering him only the random result of a natural evolution, to erase the distinctive features that make him a unique and mysteriously unique creature among all creatures of creation. Alberto Salvino points out in his new encyclopedia that the civilizational advance that took place between Egypt and Greece can be seen above all in the nature of their gods. Egypt surrenders to the dark forces of nature, imagining a pantheon that is actually a frightening zoo, populated by dogs and cats. Greece, by contrast, rebels against these dark forces, imagining an Olympus of anthropomorphic gods. Animalism, under the guise of civilizing refinement, hides the civilizing evolution. It is a return to the Egyptian pantheon, populated by obscure gods to whom we cannot pray and which we can only appease with human sacrifices.